There cannot be a lapse in government, as government must be there until elections are held. This was the view expressed by the Attorney General during a televised program on Saturday. And a new hinterland dormitory has been commissioned. It's Monday, July 15, and it's also the 74th birth anniversary of His Excellency President David Granger. These and other stories in today's news. Coming on the heels of the Caribbean Court of Justice ruling and subsequent consequential orders handed down on July 12, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Basil Williams, said in keeping with the Constitution, the coalition government has retained all its legal powers.
The court, on a proper interpretation of Articles 106.6 and 106.7, concluded otherwise, and the learned Chief Justice did say that the tenure of the cabinet, including the president, post a no confidence motion, would be like that of an interim government. So he clearly has shown that the cabinet and the president will continue in government even after a successful no confidence motion, albeit in a somewhat changed role that they call the interim government.
Appearing on the program one-on-one, the Attorney General reminded that the current Constitution is based on the recommendations arising from a 1980 referendum. Hence, it gives GCOM the exclusive responsibility to conduct registration and elections in Guyana. The CCJ's ruling, the AG said, reinforces the doctrine of the separation of powers.
That is between the president and cabinet, the judiciary and the legislature. And the doctrine is that none should trample on the other or interfere with the other.
According to the AG, the opposition's move was an attempt to overstep and overreach and interfere with the executive.
On our constitution, the president is an executive of one. We have this hybrid constitution, somewhat akin to the United States and France, where we have an executive president. So it's a very important judgment, and it's a great victory for our constitutional democracy.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
In other news, earlier today, the $186 million hinterland dormitory at Liliendale East Coast Demerara was officially commissioned, providing students from those communities with a safe space while pursuing tertiary education.
The newly constructed hinterland student dormitory caters for students pursuing education at the University of Guyana, the Government Technical Institute, and the Sir Potter College of Education, among other technical institutions in and around Georgetown. Delivering feature address at the opening, President David Granger said that the dormitory demonstrates the government's commitment to improving educational opportunities for hinterland students.
Government, through the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, has done well to make this facility available today. It will ensure a more conducive environment for hinterland students attending the University of Guyana and other tertiary institutions. I look forward to the day when every regional town, Anna Regina, Bartico, Lethem, Mabaruma, Madia, every town will establish a first-class college to enable hinterland students to enjoy the best secondary education and later tertiary education within their communities without having to leave their region to come here at Liliendale to have comfortable accommodation and access to tertiary education.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alcock explained that the initiative was part of the 10-point plan for hinterland development, which focuses on the hinterland education support program.
We had the plan ever since we came in, and we have been able to work with this guideline, and now you're seeing the fruits of that wonderful concept.
According to Minister Valerie Guridolo, the actualization of this long-awaited facility will create an academic and vocational revolution in the hinterland.
This is not just a building. It is a vessel, an opening that will allow for the economic and social transformation of indigenous communities by the indigenous and hinterland people across Guyana.
Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry noted that today's commissioning marks another milestone for the education sector in Guyana.
We know that the construction of a tertiary dormitory is not to be taken lightly, as this dormitory will provide tremendous opportunities for those students whose geographic location limit their chances of pursuing their dreams of higher education.
The dormitory has 16 apartments. Each apartment boasts a kitchen, toilet and bath area and also a study area. It also has internet access and a library, as well as accommodation for 2 dorm supervisors. In recent years, an estimated 600 hinterland students received scholarship to study on the coast. Reporting from the Hinterland Student Dormitory at Linendal, with videographer Leon Leong, I am Sinica Thorne for InfoHub.
Steel pan solos, cultural presentations, and heartfelt greetings formed part of his special 74th birthday luncheon hosted today for His Excellency President David Granger at the Buridi Benab State House. Prime Minister, the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, Ministers of Government, senior government officials, special invited guests, friends, and family all gathered to celebrate the head of state's special day. The program was packed with musical renditions and dances. The program, which was chaired by Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valdo Lawrence, saw Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramchatan and Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency Joseph Harmon leading the tributes.
In David Arthur Granger, we have a moral leader and a moral example. His every enunciation in cabinet or in the press or in a statement to the nation, it comes forth so very well. And it is demonstrated also by his actions.
That was the quality of the man. That was what made him, when he became president, determined that we needed in Guyana national unity, and that national unity was a priority. And so it was no mistake that the Ministry of Social Cohesion was created. So many people spoke about social cohesion, but he decided to give meaning and effect to it and named an entire ministry because he recognized that unity in this country is so important.
President Granger, during brief remarks, expressed his gratitude to those gathered for being able to celebrate another milestone in his life.
I'd also like to thank my cabinet colleagues who over the last 8 months or so have had to carry a heavy load. First of all, the Prime Minister, Carl, when he was with the cabinet, had a tremendous burden to bear. Vice President Kemraj Ramchatan and Sidney Alicop, all the ministers. I'd like to thank all the chair of the PNC and AMNA, GS, and the members of Central Executive who kept the party going. I'd like to thank Joe, the General Secretary of APNU, also who continue to work with the partnership. So I'm full of gratitude as I stand before you this afternoon to all of these people, literally and truthfully, without whom I would not have been here, at least in this shape.
He highlighted that it was on this day in 2015 the Buses, Boats and Bicycles program was started. In keeping with tradition of delivering quality education for all, the head of state presented 5 top national grade 6 assessment performers with laptops for their outstanding achievements. Still to come, Anai residents to benefit from solar farm and Oriala All-Water Road nears completion. Details of these and more after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America? where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape. From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. In more good news for the environment, residents of Anai are to benefit from a clean, renewable and reliable energy source with the installation of a 3,000 kilowatt solar farm.
The ISA fund amounts to approximately $200 million. At Anai on July 12th, villagers were briefed on the project, which aims to provide an adequate supply of energy that will not damage the environment, but will lead the way for the creation of jobs and more positive economic activities in the North Rupununi.
I'm really excited about what can be the outcome in terms of benefits to the people of Anai, and by extension when the dust would have settled on this one and the lessons would have been learned, then the expanded program will come into being. It is the relentless push. It is the relentless going behind this financial stream of support that was undertaken by High Commissioner Dr. Pollard that we need to recognize as the engine that is driving this process forward.
The community of Anai was adopted by the ISA when the leaders saw the rich, unspoiled area via videos and photographs. The area has the highest density of protected areas in Ghana and is an area with a high commitment to environmental sustainability. In the meantime, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock noted the project is in keeping with the Green State agenda that focuses on improving the lives of people while at the same time preserving the environment.
The President has a great dream with this government to bring a better life for all Guyanese, and more so for the hinterland people, for the indigenous people. And because of that drive, Guyana has been gaining momentum. In the last 4 short years, we have been working towards the maintenance of a good, healthy ecosystem.
Residents were also advised by the minister to begin streamlining cottage industries that can be pursued once cheap energy becomes available. The team which visited the identified locations for the project included Minister Sidney Alicock, MP Williams, Guyana's High Commissioner to India David Pollard, and representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ghana Energy Agency, and the Hinterland Electrification Program. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
On the infrastructure front, a mobile asphalt plant that was dispatched over the weekend has arrived on the island of Wakanam to facilitate road upgrades.
During a community meeting with residents in Maria Johanna last month, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson committed to ensuring the rehabilitation of the main carriageway of Wakanam. In a mere 3 weeks, that pledge is becoming a reality.
I have about $60 million in our budget for Wakanam to fix and patch all on the main roads.
While noting the largest obstacle to works on the island was the ongoing rainy season, the Public Infrastructure Minister assured Wakenham residents that the road upgrades will begin at the commencement of the dry season. Last Thursday, the recently reassigned Junior Infrastructure Minister Jaipal Sharma, along with engineers, visited Wakenham to get a first-hand view of the roads and to obtain the necessary measurements for the rehabilitative works. Minister Sharma spoke of the island's history of neglect under the previous administration.
Most of the roads here, I would estimate it wasn't maintained for the past 8 to 10 years. in the Sandaloom area, which is about 8 miles of roads that probably didn't maintain for the past 17 years. So Wakenham and the previous administration, I could say, was neglected.
With a population of approximately 10,000 residents, Wakenham will be the first Essequibo Island to benefit from a mobile asphalt plant, after which the equipment will be transported to Leg 1 to execute road upgrades on that island. Shaquille Bourne, for InfoHub.
In our final report for this evening, we meet some Oriala residents who are eagerly awaiting the completion of the two-lane all-weather road that will link them to their sister village, Siparuta.
The $132 million project being carried out by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure will not only serve as a link between the two villages, but will also be a major economic boost for their approximately 1,700 residents who work as farmers and loggers.
With the machinery that we have seen and the work plans, we are sure that it will be an all-weather road. And this road will not just link Oriala and Siparuta, it will create a lot of employment, farming and so forth. Along, people can use those difficult areas to farm, which have never been possible for us.
I'm a farmer, and yesterday we went to the farm and we observed the road, and it was so, I could say, very good, very good. And it is a good development that we'll be getting because the road has started before. And I think this is the third or fourth time now the road is going on again, and I appreciate it very much because it is more wider and it is improving a lot.
It will not only bridge the gap, but it will encourage other economic activities like transportation, and then we could, in the sports way that we could, Siparuta could get easy access to Oriala for the sports and ever sports competition. I remember we used the river in the area and very dangerous. And that the road will move faster, very effective. So I think the road is a big move that will support, will contribute greatly in the sports.
In education, those children attending school here, the students can, maybe probably the weekends can go home to see their family. Also, it will be better for the farmers who farm very far. With the vehicle, they can bring out their produce.
Similar all-weather roads have been constructed in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9 as the government continues to provide improved accessibility for all Guyanese. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. And pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.